Just say hi to all the women who are joining us in the replay. Woohoo! Yay! Welcome, welcome. These are my computer glasses. You've probably not seen those before. So we are here together again as a little follow-up to support you in your drum journey after the workshop, and there will be women here live and in the replay who are from the 2 workshops that I gave recently. Basically the same material, although sometimes something new and different arises only because of a question that was asked or whatever. So let's begin. I'd like us to start with just bringing in some sacred space, our presence, allowing ourselves to fully arrive in this moment. Be here now. Be here now in this moment. And we'll take a nice deep breath together. Deep cleansing breath. Hold your fullness and let out the great big ah. Take a moment to ride your emptiness and then return to your natural breath. And I'll light a candle so that we can light the temple. If you happen to have a candle, I know I didn't say bring a candle, but we can sing the song together if you remember it. We're lighting the temple, we're lighting the temple, we're lighting our hearts, we're lighting our spirits, we're lighting our souls, we're lighting. And you're welcome to use the video recording to remind yourself of that song if you like it, and if you like singing it while you're lighting a candle and creating your own sacred space. It's a song that I wrote, so you are welcome to use it anytime you like, if it suits you. And finally, for sacred space, let's invoke the daughters of an ancient pulse. So if you have the handout that you were given at the workshop, and if you brought some kind of rattle, whatever kind of rattle you like, be it, I liked what you showed us, Terry. She has just a container with something in it, yeah. And that's why we need to have your sound turned off so that there's no interference, because only one person can be heard at once. And this is a little rattle that I found in a native shop in Boulder, Colorado. And we won't do a rhythm, we're just going to shake it, just to kind of shake the energy. And you can use this like as a smudge and shake around yourself and around your space to just clear the energy. Okay, Diane is texting me. She's trying to install Zoom, and she'll arrive when she can. That's fine. So clear the space with your energy. Shake it all up. Shake it all up. And we begin. We call upon the ancestors. You can read along with me. We call upon the ancestors, the ancient ones, the daughters of an ancient pulse. Women who drummed, danced, and sang in ritual reverie and revelry, in ceremony, contemplation, and celebration, leading their communities through the portals and passages of life. In the temples, in the streets, on rooftops and mountaintops, in wooded glens and flowery meadows, fireside, seaside, riverside. We humbly summon you and ask that you join us in support of our drumming journey. May we return to rhythm. May its resonance infuse our being. May the power of aligning to the pulse as we connect to the elements of earth, air, fire, and water clear that which no longer serves us. Clear, 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 clear. May the beats of our sacred drums be a remembrance and a reclamation, for we are the ancestors of the future. We thank you. And as always, we thank Lane Redmond for her tireless work, excavating, unearthing, and unpacking the ancient language and wisdom held in your artifacts, O ancient ones, and for passing on those teachings to us. May the images of the ancient ones and the beats of our drums inspire and awaken. Woohoo! Again, that's one of many versions of, I'm always rewriting my writing. That's why they never get done. Let's review the frame drum, how to hold it, the strokes of the frame drum, and if you brought any questions for me, maybe some of them will be answered during this initial time. So after we review that and we do a little warm-up, and we use Ina's gratitude song as part of our warm-up as well, then after that we can just take a short break for questions and answers, and maybe some of your questions will have already been answered by then. So let's pick up our drums. You can be sitting or standing, whatever you like for this first part, and I'll put on my ankle bells. Hang on. Okay. So we'll go through these one at a time. First, let's remind ourselves how to hold the drum. The head away from you, held in front of your heart, holding with your non-dominant hand. I'm going to put this on gallery view so that I can see you if there are any corrections that I need to make. And I believe I'm still pinned, so that pinned and okay. You're holding it in your non-dominant hand. You can almost see my thumb right through there, can't you? So it's resting on the side of my hand, and my thumb goes away from me as it rests on the interior of the frame. So my thumb is actually going away from my body, not toward the interior, but away from my body. My thumb is pointing that way as it rests here on the edge of the hand, and then 3 fingers, the pads of the fingertips can reach around, curl around to touch on the rim. The pinky can just be underneath or wherever it is. So you have a lot of points of contact here to hold it, and it shouldn't be too tight a grip. Let it be a loose grip just for balance. And instead of directly in front of your heart now, you're a little bit off to the side. Maybe this edge is in front of your heart. Careful that you're not too low. My elbow, my arm is pretty much at a 90-degree angle. And the head is slightly facing me, so it's at a 45-degree angle. The drum's not parallel to my body, nor is it perpendicular, but Goldilocks is that 45-degree angle so that my dominant hand can play. Everyone comfortable with how to hold? It's not the most complicated style of playing the frame drum, so the holding usually just takes a minute, as long as it's comfortable for you and it feels balanced. And anytime your hand gets tired, just take hold of the drum with your other hand so that you can shake out the holding balancing hand. Give yourself a break anytime. We'll go through the strokes, and we'll begin with the brush stroke. And reminding you that the brush stroke is B-R. that equals brush. And you can write these down again if you want to. And this one is air. We start at the top of the drum with the pads of the fingertips. There's space. See, you can see the space. So it's only the pads of the 5 fingers that touch, starting at the top and brushing down, and up and down, up, making that brushing sound. And depending on the surface of your drum, the brushing sound could differ. Just warming up the stroke. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Quick little warm-ups, quick little warm-ups. And we'll move on to the next one. Someone's arriving, good. We'll come into Ka. K will stand for Ka, which is earth. Hi Diane, glad you made it, my dear. And Ka, same position for your hand as the brush stroke was, with space and the fingertips. The palm opens to the earth and comes in and smacks onto the drum and sticks. We stick Ka. 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 We'll do 1 per pulse for now. Breathe. Open the palm to the earth. I am moving slightly away from the drum as well. So I'm not staying really close. I am moving it away as my palm also moves or faces toward the earth. 3, 2, 1. We'll just breeze through these. Next will be Doom. D for doom. I spell it D-U-M. There are other spellings. Water, H2O. Thumb is up. And the cushy part at the bottom of all 4 fingers, right across here, is where you land on the rim. Remember not to be too high up. You want to be closer to, make it a habit to be a little closer to the hand that's holding and balancing the drum. That'll be a helpful setup for you, habit for when you learn the tambourine, so that you can do those cool jingle rolls that everyone loves. So we bounce on doom. Let the drum head resonate. Doom, doom. Breathe. And finally, talk, which I write T-O-C, but let's stick to Lane's spelling. I don't read that as talk. I read that as tack. Can I just change it? I'm just gonna have some, take some license to write it the way that I have talk. To me that reads talk. Whoops, I did this backwards. T equals talk. Hang on. I want to be consistent with the way that I wrote it for the others. This is fire. T equals talk equals fire. The trickiest one, really, for all of the frame drums. I would say for this style, I like using the 3 fingers. These 3 Girl Scouts fingers, but the thumb is up and the pinky is out. It's just not going to reach. You're on the rim, and you just find a way to get a twangy sound. That's my percussion speak, twang. If you're too far in, it'll sound like doom. You hear that? You can hear the doom. If you're too far away, you get nothing. So you can actually start off the drum and keep on playing in the air until you reach a little bit. That's not much. Keep coming in a little bit. And then there it is. Go beyond it. You hear the doom sound. You don't want that. And Lane always taught us to stick for a moment for talk because it's so precise that if you stick for a moment, you get that kinesthetic awareness and remembrance of where you are on the drum to get the sound that your hands and your drum, when combined, can get. So let's warm up the top. Remember the 45-degree angle. You don't want to hold it too high up or too low down. Oopsie, sometimes I miss the drum altogether. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's do 8 of each. And we'll go in this order. I'll write the order down, and you can write this down as well, but I'll write it on the board so that you can remember the order in which we'll play our scales, just like we do in djembe class. For those of you who play djembe with me, and everyone here live is a djembe student. Yay, thank you. But not everyone in the replay is, and that's okay. The order in which we will go through these will be from the brush to the ka, to the doom, to the talk. Okay? And we'll do 8 of each for this first go round of playing our scales. I'm just going to go briefly because you'll have the replay, so you'll be able to extend this time anytime you want to. 8 of each. You can remain seated so that you're not too worried about the feet. We'll do a little bit of stepping in a moment, but I'll be stepping so that you can hear the pulse. Okay? This is the pulse as we go through 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's start with the brush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ka. 5, 6, 7, 8. Doom. 1 per pulse. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then talk. I do a little wind up for talk. See that? Back to brush. A little wind up in the arm for talk. 7, 8, ka. Doom. And talk. keep going on top for a moment. Just look at my forearm. It twists a little bit as my palm faces the earth. I do that for talk, actually. I forgot to mention that. And I also move away from the drum. Good. Let's do this one more time, 8 of each. Here we go, starting with brush. Breathe. How's that? Did it just finish on a ka? It's a good ending. Okay. I know I said that I'd hold off on the Q&A, but if you feel like you're just not getting one of those strokes, feel free to wave your arms wildly so I see you if you don't know how to raise your hand on Zoom. And I'll unmute you so you can ask your question, but we'll save the Q&A for after we've completed the warm-ups and Ina's song, because you might have more general questions or whatever. Or you may not have questions. That's okay too. All right, so now we're going to step. So let's step without our drum. You can hold it if you want to, but we're not going to play it. We're just going to say it while we step, because I'm not going to do a stepping and clapping warm-up as I usually do in class. We'll use this as our warm-up. Okay, we'll use this as our warm-up. And sorry, I didn't realize the light was right there on the 8. Let me see if I can. We're going to do 4. Can you see the 4? Kind of. Let me see if I can. 4 of each. Okay. Here you can see my feet. You can hear me through this microphone. And as always, we begin on the right foot. So bring your weight to your left leg. And we'll step 4 times. We'll do 1 beat per pulse. So as we step, why don't I demonstrate? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll say brush, 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 brush. Next is ka, 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 ka. Doom, 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 and then talk, 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 talk. Is that clear? And then we'll keep going. So with every step, you say one of the strokes, and we're going to keep the same order. Do 4 of each, starting with the right foot. Okay? All right. Remember to breathe. So I invite you to step with me as you say it. Look at my halo. Okay. Squirrel. Okay. Leaning on the left to free up the right. You'll be swaying opposite me as you see me on camera. Okay? That's okay. It's as if we are in our virtual circle and there are women to your right, women to your left, and you're simply opposite me in the circle, so you'll sway opposite me. Right foot. We'll count to 4 first, and then we'll begin saying the strokes out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brush, 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 brush. Ka, 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 ka. Doom, 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 doom. Talk, 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 talk. Again, brush, 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 brush. Ka, 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 ka. Doom, 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 doom. Talk, 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 talk. Once more. Brush, 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 brush. Ka, 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 ka. Doom, 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 doom. Talk, 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 talk. And we'll finish on a ka, probably. All right? Some of you bought ankle bells. You're welcome to wear them when you do this. You're muted, so it's not going to, you know how sound is delayed on Zoom, so it's not going to interrupt anyone. This time I'll stay up close, but you'll hear the ankle bells. I'll get you started on the feet though, how's that? So, with your drum in hand, I'll get you started on the feet and then I'll come to the camera so that you can see my hands more clearly. All right, let's start on the right foot with 1, 2, 3, 4 with the brush. Brush, 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 brush. You can say it too. Ka, 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 ka. Doom, 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 doom. Talk, 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 talk. Again, brush, 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 brush. Ka, 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 ka. Doom, 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 doom. Talk, 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 talk. Now I know some of you are used to saying it while you play it, and I invite you to do that. You're setting up those neural pathways. Doom, doom, say it aloud. Doom, doom. Talk, 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 talk. Brush, 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 brush. Ka, 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 ka. Doom, 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 doom. Talk, 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 talk. Once more. And finish on the ka. All right. So that's a good warm-up for playing your scales, going in that order. Let me see in my notes here. Let's go to Ina's song, Gratitude. And as you find that in your papers in front of you, and I hope you brought it. If not, that's okay. Ina's an old friend of mine, and long, long ago, she was one of the founding members of a women's weekly singing circle called Women with Wings in Bangor, Maine. And she was also a founding member of Moonrise, Daughters of an Ancient Pulse. You saw that big banner in our teaching studio, our great room, and that's from when we would do processions at festivals, and two women would be holding the banner in front of us. It was a commission piece. A friend of ours, Mary McFarland, who's an artist. She was a fabric artist. Don't know if she still is. We've been out of touch for a few years. But the practice of gratitude, I learned about it a very long time ago, and it's become more commonplace. I think that we've come to learn that it's so healing. Gratitude, having a practice of gratitude, being grateful for even the small things in life, the morning cup of tea, whatever it is, the warm, cozy bed at night. Gratitude makes sense of the past, brings comfort for the present, and hope for the future. And Ina wrote this song. I'll sing it, and you're welcome to actually record this. You've got the words, and you have the strokes of the drum that relate to it. As Ka relates to earth, we're thanking the earth. As Talk relates to fire, we're thanking the sun. So she does go in a different order than we do in our warm-ups. We thank the air with brush, and we thank the water with doom. But if you want to record this on your voice memo app on your phone, you're welcome to. You'll also just have this in the replay, the video replay, so that you can hear it again if you like this song and would like to make it part of your drumming. So you can ignore the board for now. Maybe I'll even move it back so it's not so distracting. We won't be going in this order now, but we'll still be doing 4 of each. Notice that in the song? It's still 4 of each, just a different order. So enjoy the song. Let me take a sip of water first. you'd like to step along, or you can be seated, up to you. Right, left. And here we go with the first ka, 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 ka. And I'll begin singing. I thank the earth for feeding my body. I thank the sun for warming my bones. I thank the trees for the air. Oh, I have the, sorry. Stop for a second. I see for the brush, I have us going up and down, 2 strokes per step. We didn't warm up to that. Let's just take a minute. Take a minute. Sorry, I see that in the song. So 2 brushes per step, which means you'll go up and down per step. As you step to the right, you go down, and then you, as you step to the right, you go down, and then in between steps you come up, so that you come down again on the left. So it's like a downbeat, upbeat, downbeat, upbeat. 2 strokes per pulse. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Let's take a moment here. Okay? If that's too much for you and you want a step, you can still just do 1. 1, 1. Okay, you're welcome to. Step, 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 step. Okay, for 4. Up to you. All right, let's begin at the beginning again. And up to you how you want to do the brush stroke. 1 per pulse or 2. And then we can, when we get to the Q&A after this, then you can let us know how you did. Remember to breathe. Let's start with the stepping. I'm going right, you're going right that way. Right, left, right, left. Here we go. I thank the earth for feeding my body. I thank the sun for warming my bones. I thank the trees for the air I breathe. And I thank the water for nourishing my soul. I thank the earth for feeding my body. I thank the sun for warming my bones. I thank the trees for the air I breathe. And I thank the water for nourishing my soul. I thank the earth for feeding my body. I thank the sun for warming my bones. I thank the trees for the air I breathe. And I thank the water for nourishing my soul. I thank the earth for feeding my body. I thank the sun for warming my bones. I thank the trees for the air I breathe. And I thank the water for nourishing my soul. Once more. I thank the earth for feeding my body. I thank the sun for warming my bones. I thank the trees for the air I breathe. And I thank the water for nourishing my soul. I thank the water for nourishing my soul. I thank the water for nourishing my soul. There's a certain nuance to stepping and drumming and singing all at the same time. It's like walking and chewing gum, right? And I think it just takes, I don't want to say the word practice, but maybe it is, or it just takes spending some time with it. What you might want to do is learn the song just by the replay without drumming. Just learn the song and enjoy the song and let it fill your heart with gratitude. And learn the order of the strokes here, because they are different than the order of the strokes that we do in the warm-ups. And then you can just practice the strokes while stepping, play the strokes while stepping, and gradually the song and the drumming come together. And this is a simple one to do because the song only has 4 lines and not too difficult to learn. The more you sing it the more you wing it. And the strokes are just one per pulse except for the brush, but you can do the brush as single strokes. And so if for those of you who want to sing and drum, maybe start seated and then bring the feet into it. So, leave something out, leave the feet out, or leave the song out, or leave the drum out, and do other parts together, and gradually it all comes together. And I know some of you do want to sing and drum and step at the same time, and it's just a matter of getting all those neural pathways to come together. So I hope that was good for you. Before we go on I want to review all the rhythms that we did in the workshop, and I'll write them down so that you can write them down. And then I'll teach a new and longer rhythm. I'll only give a minute to demonstrating the other style of playing the frame drum in case that interests you for another workshop. And the tambourine, I know some of you want to do the tambourine workshop on March 23rd. So I'll do a quick demo on that because perhaps not everyone has seen what that is. It's not just banging on a tambourine. And you have those sharing prompts. I hope to have at least a minute or, a minute, more than a minute at the end so that we can share a little bit if we like. But let's take some time for Q&A. So I invite you to put us into speaker view. It won't be that way in the recording, but then, not speaker, gallery view. If you had me in speaker view and I was full screen, if you want to be in gallery view, we'll see each other, but this won't be in the recording, I don't think, because I don't have you pinned or spotlighted. And we can unmute. Let me see if I can make an adjustment here for me with the camera. And I can ask you all to unmute so that you can speak if you have any questions. Some of you have already done it. Good.
I have a question.
Sure. Go ahead, Freya.
Okay. So the talk, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, talk, is it sun or fire, or is that the same thing, or?
Yeah, both. Yeah, so talk elementally is fire, and the sun is the biggest fire there is that we know in our solar system. So in the song, she's relating talk to the sun. But as we did in our ritual where we invoked each of the elements through our words, it's the energy in our bodies, it's inspiration, it's the light, my ring light, it's my desk light, it's the lights over here. It's the candle that I lit when we sang Lighting the Temple. It's all of those things. So yeah, it just happens to be in this song she related to sun. Yeah, good for clarification. Does that answer? Any other questions at all? Any questions at all? Diane's shaking her head. You good, Diane?
Okay.
You're what?
Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you got here.
It's been a few years since I've used Zoom. I had to completely reinstall it. So that took a little while, but I'm here now.
Good, I'm glad. Yeah, what a pain. I know that happens. And it's been a year since I taught on Zoom, and things are looking different to me. Jeff and I were poking around trying to find, as Zoom keeps evolving.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that it happened. And you're wearing your necklace too. I think we all are. I almost forgot. Cool. Anyone, any questions at all? You're doing good? Yeah. Okay, and no one sent me a text who is here for the replay. No one sent me a text, so I'm assuming that they're all good too. So let's review the, pardon me, wintertime. My lips are addicted. Let's review the rhythms that we learned in the workshop. And I'll put them on the board, and you can write them down as well. So, and you can record these. You can have your voice memo app on your phone. You can record these if you like. Again, you'll also have this replay. I invite you to put, first of all, mute yourself, or I'll mute you, and you can put me on speaker view so that I'm full screen. Look at you all. You're all so good. You know how to mute. Okay. For now, I'm not going to use the timeline, as all of you djembe students are used to seeing the horizontal bar with all the little vertical lines. I'm not going to use that just yet. Right now I'm just going to write these down, but I will divide the rhythm in half. These rhythms are long enough that there's actually a first half and a second half to the rhythm. And at a glance we use that little dividing lines so that we can see the first half and second half, if that's helpful to us. Ka, ka. I might have made that too big, hang on. Ka, ka, ka. Yikes, it's going to get crunched. Ka, space, ka, space. I'll get used to writing this in a way that is not so crazy. Space it better, but the first half has 3 kas with a space here. Ka, ka. If you take your bouncing ball, and here's the pulse, by the way. I'll put it on the bottom instead of the top. Let's do 2 beats per pulse on this, I think would be helpful. So 4 pulses altogether. We do the bouncing finger. 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ka, 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 say it. Ka, 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 ka. Up to you if you want to step. You don't have to, but at least say it while you play it. Ka, 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 ka. And as you're invoking earth by saying it, start imagining images of whatever earth reminds you of. You can even look around your space, see if there's anything that you connect to. Maybe you have a stone or a seashell or something earthy, a plant, anything in your space. Yourself, your body. You are the earth in human form. Connect to the element earth. I don't know where we are in saying it, but let's begin together. Here we go. Ka, 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 Once more, ka, 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 ka. Finish on the 1 on the right foot. Whew. Shake that out. Be sure you have this written down. Hopefully you did a nicer job than I did. And maybe you recorded it in your voice memo app, or when you do the replay, you can record it in your voice memo app so you just have the rhythm when you need it. I'll give you a moment for that, and then we'll go on to the next one. And you may not get everything today. This is to be a recap, a review, except for the new rhythm at the end. But again, the replay is handy. Okay, I'm going to erase it all and see if I can do a better job on the next one. The next one is the doom rhythm. 2 dooms in the first half, 3 dooms in the second half. 2 dooms in the first half, 3 dooms in the second half. Turn my back to you, pardon my back. Mm-hmm. Doom, 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 doom. Go ahead and write that down. And then you can follow along with your bouncing finger as well. Remember, each dash gets an equal amount of time and space as the stroke that we do here. So we have a lot of silent notes. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Ankle bell pulse, doom, doom. That's easy, both on dooms, downbeat. The first one of the second half, and then the third one here. Doom, 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 doom. For those of you who do want to step, I'll get the stepping started, and then I'll say it, and then we'll all play it. I'll start back here this time, so that those of you who do want to step, even if not now, you will soon, and you'll have your ankle bells on. So we'll start on the right foot, right, left, right, left, right, left. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom. Say it with me. Doom, 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 doom. 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 And as you're playing, we didn't do this while we were saying it. You can look around your room, see if there's something that reminds you of water. Or here on the screen, see my mermaids up there? Yeah? My blue wall. Maybe there's something in your space that reminds you of water. Or connect to the water in your body. Nice rhythm for doom. I'm doing these in a slightly different order than even our warm-ups, aren't I? Talk. This one's simple. 2 talks and 2 spaces for each half. And I got crunched at the end again. Sorry. Talk, talk, space, space. Talk, talk, space, space. Talk, 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 talk. For those of you who are still finding it a challenge to step and say the rhythm and play the rhythm, this is a good one to try it on because it's basic rhythm. Just 2 per step and right there on the downbeat. I'll start back here. Connecting to fire, the energy in our bodies, the beautiful sunny day that we have today, the lights in our homes, whatever. You can look around. Is there something that reminds you of fire, something that's yellow in your space or orange or red or on screen? and we'll take right, left, right, left. Talk, 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 talk. Say it. Talk, 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 talk. The beauty of the replay too, yay! And the beauty of the replay is that you can play, sorry, my drum's not there. I'll put my drum down carefully. The beauty of the replay is that you can play any one of these rhythms while I'm playing a different one, so that you can get two rhythms going at the same time. Once you're comfortable with your rhythm, and I'm keeping the pulse for both of us, you can play, while I'm playing the talk talk, you can play the doom rhythm or something like that. So that's a nice thing about replay is that you can simulate, is that the right word? Simulate, emulate? Being in a group, a little bit of polyrhythm happening there, us together. And then finally with the brush. This is the bra bra one. Brush. This is going to be hard to get it all in one line. Let me write it smaller. As we say, brush, 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 pardon my back, brush, brush. Just two. So 4 here, brush, 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 and then 2 in the second half. Brush, 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 brush. The goes up. Brush, 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 and the is between steps. The down brush is on the downbeat, and the brush is on the upbeat. You can even say brush up if you want. And then in the second half, both brush down. Oh no, I guess it would be brush up and down. Sorry, they're on the downbeat though. This can be down, up. That's okay. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Brush up, brush up, brush, brush. It's a lot to say, easier to play. Connecting to air, our breath, the air around us, the dancing leaves of the trees out the window. I just saw a monarch butterfly fly by. Air. And we'll take right, left, left. Brush up, brush up, brush, brush. Brush up, brush up, brush, brush. Brush up, brush up, brush, brush. Sorry. Brush up, brush up, brush, brush. Brush up, brush up, brush. I was in my head. Brush up, out of your head, in your body. Good lesson for us all. Out of your head, in your body. Brush up, brush up, brush, brush. 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 Three, 2, and 1. Yay. Those are all the rhythms that we did in the workshop. So now you would have them written down, you have them recorded. You can return to them anytime. And then we'll move on to the new and longer rhythm. This rhythm will have all 4 strokes in it, so it's not going to be the simplest. I'm not going to leave you with a raw beginner kind of rhythm. I'm going to jump a little bit, but because you'll have it and you'll have this lesson, you can work with it. All right? And for that, I do have a chart written out, and I do have the horizontal bar with the little vertical fingers to keep count. Djembe students will recognize this, others may not. This kind of pattern. But what I invite you to do first, I'm remembering my notes here, on your page, draw a horizontal bar across it. That's your timeline. And then you want to put the units in there, and this is a long rhythm. There'll be 16 little vertical lines to fit them in. It's okay if they're not evenly spaced. That's all right, but just start putting them in, and you can count them as you go. $16. Yeah, I totally ran out of room. And then the next time you write that out, you can space them out better. You might have to turn your piece of paper. If you're working with an 8.5 by 11 sheet, you might want to turn it landscape so that you get a longer line. But get used to writing that yourself. Djembe students, I always print them out for you and you fill them in. And eventually for frame drum and tambourine students, I do that too. But for the single rhythm, I'll just have you write that out yourself. And then you'll be able to fill in, once you get that written out and doing a better job than I just did. It's somewhat evenly spaced. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, but at least so that it all fits onto the page. And then we have our rhythm. I call it, I'm just going to show you the name, One Lane Lane, as if it's the number 1, the first house on Lane Lane. This is how Redmond spells her name, and this is her street, Lane Lane. And I have come across Redmond Lane and Lane Lane, and I stop and take pictures of them. It's amazing. And I put 1, not just because, she's number 1, or, I don't worship her. I feel a devotion to her for sure, and a dedication and immense gratitude. But I believe this is the first rhythm I ever learned from her. I think. It was a long time ago, and I try to think back, what was that first rhythm I ever learned? It was on the tambourine, but we'll do it on the frame drum, and I've adapted it for the frame drum. I wanted to name this with a question mark at the end, One Lane Lane question mark, because I'm not 100% positive. I think that's where this rhythm comes from. It's a lot, and you may not get it all written down today. We might just say it and try to play it, and then you'll have the replay to try to get it all written out. But as you can see, I have the horizontal bar with 16 little fingers. Djembe students will be familiar with the count, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and the ankle bell pulses are on the top this time. And yeah, so it's a lot. Doom here, brush is here, another doom, 2 talks, and a ka. Whew, so how do we do this? Let's do a little bit of call and response. Oop, there we go, now you can see. And there are 3 spaces at the end. Okay, so feel free to write that down or get it later. And you're also welcome to take a screenshot right now and write it from the screenshot. We'll spend just a little bit of time on this so that we could get to some sharing and the quick demo and a quick little stretch as we close, because I promised to be out of here by 12:45. Let's try to do that. Let's do a little call and response for the first half. I'll say it, then you'll say it. I'll say it, then you'll say it. So you can even let your hands rest and you don't have to pick up a drum just yet. This will be something that you can work on over time. You're not necessarily going to get it all today. Congratulations if you do. And it's totally perfect if you don't, and you'll get it some other time. You'll be able to work with this as in your own time. First half, I'll set the pulse. Just repeat after me. I'll be silent for 2 pulses after I say it so that you can say it after me. Doom, doom, brush a brush. 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 Let's try it with the drum. Doom, doom, brush a brush. Still call and response, me then you. Doom, doom, brush a brush. 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 One more time. Doom, doom, brush a brush. And we all and now doom. So hopefully the call and response worked for you. I do that so that you can hear me without hearing yourself, and that way each time I say it and then you play it and then I say it again, it can reinforce how it is to sound and how it's to be played. How'd you do with that? Do good? Do good? Ready for the second half? Okay. The second half here, 1 doom, 2 talks, and a ka. Doom, talk, talk, ka. See, after the doom, there's a little bit of a breath. That's a silent note. You have 3 silent notes at the end so that you can reset once you're doing the whole thing over and over again. For now, let's just focus on this half. Doom, talk, talk, ka. It'll be doom, talk, talk, ka. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Mark that on your drum for a moment without making much sound. And say it with me, please. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Let's do a little call and response just by saying it. Here's the pulse. Breathe. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Me, doom, talk, talk, ka. You. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Notice where the ankle bell pulses are. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Your turn. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Keep saying it while you play it. Talk, talk, ka. Talk, talk, ka. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Doom, talk, talk, ka. Doom, talk, talk, ka. One more. Doom, talk, talk, ka. And a little trickier because you have 3 strokes in that one. But again, then you have a reset there. The whole rhythm, how it sounds, let me just play it for you so you hear how it sounds. Then we'll say it, and we'll try to play it. We'll see how we do. Again, notice where the ankle bell pulses are. I'll say the whole thing a few times. You can record this if you like, so that you get the full vocalization for yourself. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ta. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ta. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. Sounds like this. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. One more. So what you might like to do is work on the first half while I play the whole thing. Then maybe you just play the second half while I play the whole thing. And then when you're ready, just try it. It's a lot of changing the placement of the hand, but you don't have to change the shape of the hand. Just the placement, where it is. Although the fingers tend to be more open on ka and brush than they do on doom and tock. But it's not totally necessary. Let's try the whole thing. Use the recording to keep working with this rhythm. It's a nice rhythm. When we learned it on tambourine, it wasn't brush or brush. Those were ticks on the jingle. And so maybe we'll translate it to tambourine when we get to tambourine lessons, for those of you who want to move to that. All right. Whew, it's a mouthful. So see if you can say it with me. See if you can play it with me. Just do your best and come back to it anytime you want to keep playing it, and gradually it all comes in. I'm not going to do a whole lesson with you like I would if we were in person, spending, another 10 minutes just to embody this rhythm, because you have a recording. That's the beauty of Zoom that we don't get in live in-person classes. For those of you who want to work with stepping, or at least to see my pulse while you hear it, right, left, right, left. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. Work with half of it if you need to. Whether it's the first half or the second half. I'll hold space for you for the whole rhythm. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. Doom, doom, brush a brush, doom, tock, tock, ka. Sorry. One more. And finish on two. Wow, from what I can see on screen, all the little thumbnails of each of you, you're getting it. You're really getting it. And some of you are even stepping. Congratulations. Yeah. If you got it and you feel like, yeah, I got that. Well, here's something for you that you can add. And then we'll move on. I thought I would just show you this. instead of 3 spaces at the end, you can put 2 talks. Doom, doom, brusha, brush, doom, talk, talk, ka, talk, talk. Oh my God. So that might make it super complicated, but it's an option. So you might even want to write it in parentheses down below your 2 dashes so that you can see it's optional. It's something that you can do if you want. Then once you really have the rhythm, you can do it with the 3 spaces at the end every other time, and with the 2 talks at the end every other time. Just so you know how it sounds. Sorry, I gotta hit that talk. Truth, this is easier on the tambourine, as complex as the tambourine is, and it's easier playing finger style. Here's my opportunity to demonstrate finger style for you. Finger style on the frame drum, I know that a couple of you have already experienced that online with other teachers and find this difficult, but we'll work with that, this thumb thing. But the rhythm is easier this way. Brush for that. We could. I'm used to playing it with talks. But that's finger style for you. Different rhythm. There's cool stuff with finger style that we can do like this. So that's finger style on the frame drum. I segue directly into that. And demo on the tambourine, just to do that real quick. Totally different rhythms here. That's my favorite, I must say. And playing the frame drum upright is my favorite way to play the frame drum. But I started you on this whole hand playing style because it's a great entryway for it. So hopefully you got this written down or a screenshot so you can write it, because remember when you're writing it down you're using the language center of your brain, so please do write it even if you took a screenshot. Recorded it on your voice memo now or from the replay. I'm going to move this out of the way. Unmute yourself if you have a quick question about any of what we just did, but I'd like to go into some sharing prompts, which are so beautiful, if anyone has a sharing prompt. I've got that piece of paper. For you it's a yellow sheet that has earth, sun, water, fire, and air. And we use exactly, one of the questions, just one of the questions. Was there a magical light bulb aha moment where you felt a synchronicity? Was there a moment that flowed or felt aligned with the river of your purpose or vision, or just flowed rhythmically? Something with air. Did your breathing slow down or quicken or deepen? So questions like that during our playing time together. But any questions, and the questions can be intermingled with the sharing prompts, and I encourage you to put us on to speaker view. You won't be on screen necessarily during the recording. I'm not sure. I don't remember how that works, but I might pin you, or I may not. You'll be heard. And the only people getting the replay are the women who've been in the 2 workshops. Just as a reminder, if you're self-conscious on the screen, it's just us. So go ahead and unmute yourself if you have a question or a prompt.
Yeah, I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed this. I was really leery about doing the Zoom. But for me, I think it's wonderful for a couple of reasons. As you know, I have difficulty hearing sometimes in the classroom, and this is perfect. I can, put the volume wherever I need it. I can hear everything, and that's one less thing that I have to be concerned about. But also, I just love being able to record things that you're doing, and then I'll have this to look at again and make notes, and I can try things without worrying about other people listening to how bad I sound. Nobody can hear that, so that's good. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know this is my first experience of having a Zoom in this kind of class environment, and it really worked well for me, I believe. So anyway, I just wanted to say that it was very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Freya. I'm so glad. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. That's great to hear.
Some showing your
Wow.
Pretty.
Yeah, the class was perfect, Barbara. Thank you.
These reflections, the yellow piece of paper or green piece of paper.
Oh, right. Okay.
Some of you got yellow, some of you got green, depending on.
I thought you were talking about the Zoom thing. Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah. And it's a reflection because I connect each of the strokes to the elements as Lane did. And so I'm using the elements as a pause for reflection and as a prompt so that we can share specifically what happens during our time together rather than sharing about our thoughts about anything else. It pinpoints, your experience in our time playing together.
I found myself really doing well with the stepping and playing the rhythm on the drum. Really worked great today.
Good.
It felt good. I could do the steps and also do the drumming at the same time and keep the step. So that was kind of a revelation today.
Excellent. Were you seated the whole time or standing?
Yes, I'm seated. So I was just moving my heels and to wear my bells.
Wear your bells and try when you're walking because we walk every day.
Right.
And so we're used to that. It becomes kind of like second nature, third nature. It's like first nature to just walk.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about it like you do when you're seated and lifting your heels, but good for you that you can do it lifting your heels too.
Yeah, it seemed to. Yeah, it worked.
Good. Congratulations. Anyone? Some of my students who journal and like to write, have used these for journal prompts. And in fact, one of them wrote to me everything that she sent it in an email. I didn't ask anyone to, but she felt moved to do that because she felt like it deepened her whole experience by going through all of these reflections one by one and reflecting on the lesson. And she wrote like a whole journal thing and then sent it to me. I was so touched. She's a sweetheart. She's young. She's in Orlando. You don't have to do any of that. It's just a tool. So any questions before I go into the stretch and the closing so that I can let you go into your Sunday? It's already beyond the time I said it would be. I so appreciate you all being here with me today live, and for those of you who will be in the replay. Oh, good. Thank you, Terry. Yeah, Zoom has its limitations, but it also has its blessings.
Yeah.
And so thank you for giving me the opportunity to teach on Zoom again and remind myself how it can work.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. Well, if I'm too small on your screen, you can return me to speaker view. Otherwise, let's do this. The hand that was holding and balancing the drum, make your tulip with thumb touching the fingertips. Just hold it out in front of you. And then your other hand, fingertips around the fingers. I think I'm still spotlighted, pinned, whatever. I want to make sure that if you want me on full on your screen, you're able to get me that way. Fingers behind fingers, thumb behind thumb. And the tulip tries to open, but you don't let it. Feel that, rebalancing, and then just give it a break. Let it release for a moment. Breathe and try again. The tulip tries to open, and let it all go. Good. And then palm away with the fingers spread wide, and feel your fingers really spreading. I already feel a good stretch through here where the thumb connects, and you can increase that by pressing down on the thumb. Press it down, down, down. Get a good stretch through there. Learned that from one of my massage therapist students. She's a massage therapist, and while we were stretching, she said, this is what I do, because, you know, she's squeezing all the time. It's to rebalance the squeeze that we feel in the holding hand. And let's just take a moment to feel our spines nice and tall and the head buoyant. Breathe in and the head rises, and then as you exhale, let the head gently fall to one side, ear to shoulder. Breathe. And on your next inhale, let the head rise. And as you exhale, let the head gently drop to the other side, ear to shoulder. Nice stretch in the side of the neck. Breathe. Breathe in and let the head rise. I won't go through the shoulders today. Some of you know the shoulder stretches. I won't do that, but I will stretch through the hand of the, you can do the playing hand on your own, but the hand that's been holding the drum, let's stretch that a little bit more. So your second favorite hand, stop in the name of love, and gently press those fingers back. Same hand, fingers down. Keeping the long arm long. Pull on the fingers. I get a better stretch pulling on the fingers than pressing on bones. It pulls all the fascia tissue. And then shake it all out. Silence after sound. How profound. Breathing all the good rhythm, unity, harmony that we feel when we come together, even in the virtual circle. Breathe it into your body. Let it spiral down to your feet, grounding you to the earth. We thank the elements and the ancient ones, the daughters of an ancient pulse, and Lane Redmond, for their presence and their support, and we release them now, knowing that wherever we are, they are still supporting us on our drumming journey. I thank all of the drummers in our circle today, knowing that without any one of us, this day would have been completely different. One drum, one pulse, one heart. Thank you all so much for being here. Yay, I love you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.